It's turned out to be total hogwash. Music is unique, music is special, music has a very individual, meaningful role in society, not only to youth.
There was people that had dinner over Epstein's house. Like Epstein had dinners and had celebrities go over his house. Like Chelsea Handler was one of the people that went over his house. I don't think Chelsea Handler is out there molesting kids.
No, I get.
You know what I mean?
No, I get that, but I think we're past that. We're beyond that point now because
right. You just have to be able to say, "Hey, I went to his house for dinner."
Yeah, I'm not saying because people try to do that to you with like pictures. They're like, if you was in a picture with somebody, they think,
right.
But it's like. It's the difference between being in a picture with somebody and being in 500 pictures with them.
The situation being described places Clive Davis at the center of a narrative that feels tense and unresolved. Reports suggest he has become increasingly withdrawn, distancing himself from longtime associates, limiting communication, and avoiding the mention of a specific name altogether. At the same time, a former protege of his is said to be dealing with serious trouble behind bars, including an alleged incident involving a threat from another inmate. Alongside that, the shadow of legal controversies connected to Jeffrey Epstein continues to loom, pulling old industry rumors back into public discussion. What makes this moment stand out is the contrast with Davis's past openness. In earlier years, he spoke candidly in his memoir about his personal life, showing a willingness to be transparent about deeply private matters.
And I did find that I could be attracted to a man while I still am.
That history raises a natural question now. Why the silence when faced with speculation that could impact his legacy? At this stage, there are more questions than answers. The situation appears to be evolving quickly, shaped by reports, allegations, and interpretations rather than confirmed facts. What's clear is that the story isn't being told from a place of clarity. It's unfolding in fragments, with uncertainty driving much of the conversation. That contrast is what makes the situation feel so striking. Clive Davis didn't need to open up about his personal life at all, especially at that stage in his career. After decades of marriage and a long-established reputation, he chose to speak openly in his memoir, The Soundtrack of My Life, and in interviews with Katie Couric. He addressed his bisexuality directly, even reflecting on experiences from the Studio 54 era that wasn't subtle or indirect. It was a deliberate decision to be transparent about something deeply personal. Because of that history, his current silence around Sean Diddy Combs stands out more sharply. This isn't just any industry connection. Diddy was often described as a protege and someone closely tied to Davis during pivotal years. So when speculation builds and Davis chooses not to respond, people naturally start questioning why this is a line he won't cross. There are claims, mostly from unnamed sources, that has been reacting privately in ways that seem unusually intense, tightening his circle.
That I have a very special connection with artists, with music. I certainly know I had it with him.
Restructuring staff and discouraging any mention of Diddy. Some even describe a focus on containment, suggesting concern about how far the situation could spread. It's important to treat those reports carefully, since anonymous accounts aren't always reliable. Still, the perception of that kind of response adds fuel to the narrative. What keeps the conversation alive is the absence of a simple, direct statement. In many cases, a brief denial or clarification is enough to shut things down. Here, that hasn't happened. And in an industry where image and messaging are usually tightly controlled, silence tends to create more curiosity rather than less. Then there's the image itself. And that's where things begin to feel even more calculated. For years, Sean Diddy Combs wasn't just attending Clive.
All right, y'all. So Ray J having some words again about Brandy and the Brandy and Monica tour, the Boys Mind tour. He says that he wants Jay-Z and Beyonce to show Brandy some more love when they come through the tour. Let's take a listen.
Davis's pre-Grammy events. He was prominently featured, almost like a centerpiece of the guest list. His presence on invitations signaled status, influence, and a long-standing connection. But once legal issues and lawsuits started gaining attention, that visibility shifted. In updated digital invitations, Diddy's image was no longer front and center. Instead, he appeared pushed into the background, visually overshadowed by figures like Jay-Z and Beyonce. It wasn't an obvious removal, but it was noticeable enough to raise eyebrows. Officially, Davis's team described it as a routine refresh. just a new design for a new year. But that explanation didn't fully convince observers. Changes like that, especially involving someone so closely tied to the event's identity, rarely happen without intention. When a figure goes from highlighted to nearly hidden, people tend to see it as more than coincidence. And that's where the reaction matters. The statement from his camp wasn't outright defensive, but it came across as measured, almost overly precise. Instead of closing conversation, it had the opposite effect. It made people look closer, question more, and wonder whether the shift reflected something deeper happening behind the scenes. That would already be enough to keep attention locked in. But the situation grows heavier because Clive Davis appears to be facing pressure from more than one direction at the same time. Separate from anything involving Sean Diddy Combs, there's renewed scrutiny tied to Jeffrey Epstein. An internal review connected to Bard College, focused on its president Leon Botstein, is still underway, while broader legal efforts, including moves by Donald Trump urging Pam Bondi to unseal Epstein grand jury material, are adding more uncertainty. If anything from those proceedings becomes public, it could pull unexpected names into the spotlight. To be clear, there's no verified link placing Davis directly inside that Epstein matter, but the environment he operates in overlaps with those conversations, and that alone can create pressure that's hard to control. It's not something that can be handled with a quick statement or careful messaging. It's larger, legal, and unpredictable. That's what makes his position so complicated. These aren't neatly separate issues. They intersect in ways that make every response risky. If he directly addresses rumors involving Diddy, it could invite deeper questioning from media already watching closely. If he stays silent, that silence keeps fueling speculation. And try and get ahead of one issue could unintentionally amplify another. Adding to that tension are claims circulating from figures like Suge Knight, who has made allegations involving Davis, and others such as Jimmy Iovine. Given Knight's background, those statements need to be treated cautiously. Still,
with no training in music,
None.
did you think you'd be good at this?
I never thought I would have a musical ear. I never thought I'd have a natural gift.
the reason they continue to circulate is because they haven't been directly addressed, leaving space for interpretation rather than closure. Meanwhile, reports about Diddy's current situation, legal troubles, difficult conditions, and alleged incidents while in custody add another layer. Accounts from people like Sharice Finney describe a tense environment, though details remain largely unverified and come from secondhand sources. Situations like that can intensify pressure and raise the stakes around any past relationships or expectations of support. In the middle of all this, Davis's silence stands out the most. A figure once known for guiding and mentoring now appears distant, almost as if that connection never existed. Whether that's a strategic decision, a legal necessity, or something else entirely isn't clear. What is clear is that overlapping rumors, legal developments, and unanswered questions are creating a narrative that continues to grow without a definitive anchor in confirmed facts. There's a growing narrative that Sean Diddy Combs may not stay quiet if he feels abandoned, with speculation that he could implicate others connected to his past. If that ever extended toward Clive Davis, it would instantly dominate headlines. Whether those claims are wacky or exaggerated is unclear, but the possibility alone is enough to keep people watching closely. Those around Davis describe him as aging but still mentally